Hey, what's up, everybody? Today's video is about abortion. Specifically, before anybody gets mad that I'm a white cis male talking about abortion in the Bible. Okay. Now there is no. Well, actually, I was gonna say something else, but it actually is in the Bible. The God never says don't have an abortion. Okay. Now, I believe God has a personality. I believe that wherever he stands his ground is just where it stands, and he's unchanging, okay? His values, he has them. More values than we have, okay? Only they're simplified because of his perfection, right? So I'm not speaking for him. I'm not speaking for God. I'm not saying that God's okay with you getting an abortion. I'm not saying that. But there are instances in the Bible where God permits it, where God allows it. Okay. It says if your wife, if you think that she's being unfaithful and she might be bearing another man's child, to take her to the priest, and the priest will give her a potion to drink, and it will kill the baby. Okay, it will cease to live. God also said that a person is not a person until it breathes the air of God, which means when it's outside the womb. Before that, it's not a person. That's what God said. Okay. There's been times where God has said to murder infants, when they're already outside of the womb. Okay. When he told the Israelites to go kill the Canaanites, he told them to kill the infants as well. Okay. And there's been times where he told men to cut open women's pregnant stomachs and kill the babies or rip the babies out of their stomachs. God has said all of these things. So for anybody to say that God is against abortion, I'm not saying that he's not, but if you're going by what the Bible says, that's wrong. The Bible never says don't get an abortion. I don't know where this comes from. I think people don't like abortion because they think it's like killing a baby, and then they just associate that with God, and God must not like that because God's good, so how could he like this? But they are unaware of the verses in the scriptures where it says to kill people. They don't know that God ever said that. So it's a misconception. Like I said, I'm not saying God likes abortion. I'm not saying you should get an abortion. I don't, personally, I don't like abortions. If somebody asked me money for an abortion, I don't know if I'd give them money for an abortion. I don't know if I'd pay for that, all right? I don't necessarily agree with abortion. I don't think that we handle it with the amount of sensitivity that it needs to be handled with. I think it's disgusting, in a way, how some of these fetuses are thrown away, or they're kept in a back room, which does happen, or they're sent to science labs and they're studied. It's really gross. Imagining a fetus in a garbage bag is probably the grossest thing I can think of, with whatever else is in there. That makes me want to throw up, okay? That's absolutely disgusting. Or as Trump likes to say, disgraceful. I can't even say that word without thinking about Trump anymore because he says it so much, but that is what I'd call disgraceful, okay? With that being said, to say that it's unbiblical to get an abortion, that's not true. You don't even know if it's really ungodly. You don't really know that. You've never met God. I want to make something clear that when you have a relationship with God, you can feel him. You can talk and you just know that he's listening. You just know. You just have faith that he's listening to you. You know? You're not always overpowered with this feeling. You just have faith that he can hear you. And you just have a relationship with him. You talk to him on your downtime. You know, and you pray to him and you tell him how much you love him. And you'll have signs here and there that he can hear you. I mean, that's my relationship with Jesus, at least. Okay? So it's not that complicated. You can be against abortion all you want. I don't have a problem with that. And you can be for abortion. But nowhere in the Bible does it say that it's wrong to get an abortion. And I will point out that Jesus himself did say that a person is a person at conception. That is a bit of a contradiction. Because, and I've also heard that, I'm sorry about the noise in the background. There's a movie out there that I forgot to turn off, and I'm sorry. But, hold on a second. This is a bit ridiculous. It's a bit too loud. Sorry about that. Had to go deal with that. Man, that was really loud. You ever just, I know this is off topic, but have you ever just heard a movie playing that, you just happen to just leave playing in the other room? And it's just like, there's just this one scene that you can hear where this music just doesn't stop and it's just ongoing. And you're like, man, how long is this scene? You ever have that moment of like frustration where it's like, man, this is like an hour-long scene I'm listening to. It's like the same sound effects, the same. It only happens when you're not in the room, I swear. Anyways, whatever. I know that was off topic. But anyways, back to abortion. Should it even be legal? Free will, you could say this is godlike and this isn't. You can go on and on with a list of things that are godly and things that are ungodly. Sin and not sin. Righteous and unrighteous. Wicked. You can go things, how to get into heaven, how not to get into heaven. You can do a whole list. Really long list of those things. But, fact of the matter is, free will itself is godly. He gave it. He has it. We have the right to choose to get an abortion. The Bible does say, though, that a woman's body does not belong to her, but to her husband. It also says that a man's body does not belong to him, but to his wife. I know a lot of people leave that last part out, don't they? Yeah. Yeah. I think people have the right to choose. Same way I feel about same-sex marriage. Technically, that's not a marriage. It's hard to explain. I'm not homophobic at all, by the way. I think it's gross to look at because it's not my thing, but that's going to be the next video, is about homosexuality. Anyways, people have the right to choose. I don't think it should be illegal. It would cause more damage if it was. You just have your standards, have Christ in your body, and don't worry so much about everyone else. Try not to judge people, and just try to love them. Luke, love them anyway. It says that in the Bible, love them anyway. Jesus said, love your neighbors without qualification, okay? Which brings me to a joke. Why was the koala sacrificed on the altar? It didn't meet the qualifications. You didn't like that joke? It was good. See, I thought that was pretty funny. Anyways, listen, I know I'm making jokes and stuff. I'm bringing light to this. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with bringing light to anything either. Just don't try to oppose your values on everyone else. Don't assume that your values, just because you think they are morally correct, are God's values. You're not God. God's not you. God does not see things the same way you do. And I have a theory that God, right and wrong, I have a feeling that humans used to not even understand right from wrong. I mean, the Bible kind of says that humans did not know right from wrong. They could do whatever and nothing would be wrong to them. There would be no such thing as sin because they would not know what sin was. So no matter what they did, they lived forever. It wasn't because they didn't do this. It was because they didn't know that it was bad to do. But when they ate the fruit, then they knew what was good and bad. And then they knew that they could sin. And then hell was opened up to them. Because then they knew. It's not about what you do, it's about what you know. Ignorance is kind of an innocent thing. Anyways, God is above what you perceive to be good and bad, okay? Don't put words in his mouth. It's disrespectful, and it's blasphemy, and it's taking God in vain, okay? Just saying. Anyways, that's my video. Gonna be making a lot more. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll be back in a flash. Thank you for watching.